It's not about pink ribbons. It's not about 5K races. It's not about the month of October. It's not even about awareness anymore. I think we are sufficiently aware. It has now become about focusing on a disease and finding ways to change the face of that disease. In 1987, my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer for the first time, and in that moment, I became a high risk patient. I spent the next 19 years looking over my shoulder, trying to outrun the disease and hoping that the research would get the disease before the disease caught me. Unfortunately, in July of 2006, I was not so fortunate. The disease won. I was diagnosed with an invasive form of breast cancer and was faced with a whole mess of rather difficult choices with regard to treatment. I did my research, I learned what I could, I decided what options worked best for me, and in the course of all of this, my daughter, who was 21 years old at the time, said to me, "What does this mean for me, Mom?" And in that moment, I knew exactly what it meant for her. It meant for her that she was going to be doing exactly what I did for the 19 years prior. I was crushed. I was destroyed. I was devastated. I can only imagine now, as I'm thinking about this, how my own mom had to have felt standing in that doctor's office, listening to the doctor tell me that I was diagnosed. And I realized also in that moment, I need to do something to change the face of breast cancer. I think because we're surviving in such great numbers, we've become complacent. We've come to a point where we're accepting survivorship rather than going to grab onto a cure. The fact of the matter is, people have this conception or misconception that the word survivor and the word cured are interchangeable words. They are not. To survive the disease is not to be cured from the disease. It is just that, to be a survivor. The only way I will be cured is when a researcher in a lab somewhere, in collaboration with, I am sure, many, many other researchers, finds something that they can say and give to me and say, "That's it, it's done. No more breast cancer. There's no chance of it coming back." So that's where we need to be going with this. My feeling is that we need to shift the conceptions of and the misconceptions that are out there. People hear breast cancer and they think, lucky, you got a good cancer. Can I just say that there's no such thing as a good cancer? No cancer is the only good cancer. The other wonderful thing with breast cancer is that people think when you say you're having reconstructive surgery that you're getting a boob job, breast augmentation. There's nothing cosmetic about having a mastectomy and reconstructive surgery. If someone needs to compare this surgically, a better choice would be to compare it to an amputation with a permanent prosthetic device inserted. So if we can kind of get people to stop thinking of breast cancer as a no big deal cancer, and if we could stop getting them to think that, like making a decision to alter your body in such a horrific way is okay because, well, women do it all the time. I didn't do it to be Pamela Anderson. I did it because I wanted to feel like I could still put on clothing and not have to worry about being lopsided or shifted or whatever. The point of all of this is I don't want my daughter to have to be running and looking over her shoulder for the next however long. I need to believe that we can shift the awareness over to, we all know we need to get mammographies. Well, now we need to know how to get research going that's going to cure the disease, that's going to prevent the disease. The way to do that is to amass an army. Dr. Love has an ingenious idea. She has the research community that are attempting to fill studies and are not exactly having the easiest time getting the word out to women that they need them for the studies. So she assembled this army of women. Her goal is 1 million. There's no reason why there are not 10 million already signed on. The fact of the matter is, being a part of the army of women obligates you to nothing other than agreeing to receive emails. The research community is on one side, the women are on the other side. These people are trying to help these people, but there's no way for the two to communicate. This is where the beauty of the army comes in. Dr. Love amasses the army. She finds out what the researchers need. She sends out a mass email to as many women as are willing to sign up. You get the email, you read the email, you make a decision if the study is something you wish to participate in. If it's not, you simply either delete the email, forward it to someone you think might be interested, and that's it, you're done. That's the only thing that you are doing by joining the Army. You're not being asked to donate dollars, you're not being asked to donate time, you're not being asked to divulge any sort of health information, identifying information. The only thing that Dr. Love wants is your name, your age, where you live, an email address, and your ethnicity. That's it. Beyond that, you're done. You'll get an email once every couple of weeks, maybe 2, 3 a month, if that. You'll review the email. At that point, the decision is yours. Do I want to click on this link and be put in touch with these researchers or not? Some of the studies are as simple as filling out a questionnaire online. Some of them are a little bit more involved, but the best way for you to see that is if you just go to the armyofwomen.org webpage and scroll through some of the studies. See what studies have been closed already and what studies are open, and you can get a flavor for what these researchers are looking at and what they are trying to do. It's not the typical, okay, let's see what this drug does. Let's see if this can stop this. It's more about, let's see why this is happening in me and why it didn't happen in my next door neighbor. And actually, it did happen in my next door neighbor. Why is it me, my mom, and my sisters, and not my girlfriend, her mom, and her sister? They're trying to find the little pieces of the puzzle so that they can make the picture complete. Once that picture is complete, they can start to do things that can make this revolutionary, that can, having an understanding of how and why things are happening. Is it the environment? Is it the drinking water? Is it lifestyle? Is it all of the above? Is it none of the above? The bottom line is, though, they need the women in order to be able to do the studies. Healthy women, women with breast cancer, women who are survivors of breast cancer, young women, older women, all women. This is not exclusive to those of us that are already in the club. So I am begging you to please go to the armyofwomen.org website, fill out the very basic information. I promise nothing of your personal history is going to be compromised. I promise you are not going to get your inbox inundated with emails. I promise you're not going to be harassed by anyone if you decide never to join a study. The life you save may end up being someone who you love very dearly. The bottom line is, there are women out there dying that are dying unnecessarily. We need to be the face of change. We need to be the generation that changes this. We need to be part of the revolution that says it stops with me. I don't want to be a survivor. I want to be able to say, I had breast cancer. I am cured. My daughter will never develop breast cancer. She's been vaccinated. It is prevented in her. And every generation beyond. This is the goal. It's a revolutionary opportunity for all of us. Dr. Love has a brilliant vision, and if we can all just get behind her, if you can put on a pink ribbon, if you can walk in a 5K or a 3-day, if you can buy a piece of pink ribbon jewelry and put it on your wrist or around your neck, you can certainly take the 60 or 90 seconds that it requires for you to flip open a computer, log onto a website, and fill in 5 little pieces of information. I thank you. My mom thanks you. My daughter thanks you. Everyone I love thanks you. My friends thank you. And most of all, the Army of Women thanks you. Please do it today. So many lives are depending upon it. Thank you.